Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. City News Everywhere reports that members of Parliament have approved Annette Ryan as Canada's next Parliamentary Budget Officer, following a House vote today. Ryan's appointment passed with a count of 164 to 153. Both the Bloc Québécois and the Conservatives voted against her nomination. Ryan, a seasoned public servant, currently serves as the Deputy Director at Canada's Financial Intelligence Agency, FINTRAC. Her testimony during the approval process was notably overshadowed by MP's ongoing focus on Jason Jacques, the former interim PBO. Conservative MPs explicitly stated their opposition to Ryan's nomination, advocating for Jacques to be given the permanent position. Ryan has pledged to deliver clear fiscal analysis from the office, while ceding stark language to parliamentarians. CTV News reports that the BC government is responding to a Globe and Mail report indicating that the federal government is refocusing its Alberta-BC pipeline efforts on a southern route rather than a northern one. BC Energy Minister Adrian expressed initial positivity regarding Ottawa's apparent pivot away from a northern pipeline route, particularly due to concerns over a tanker ban. However, he stopped short of fully endorsing a southern route, emphasizing that British Columbia's strong economic interests in growth and projects that are real in the present should receive equal or greater attention. Environmental groups like the Wilderness Committee and the Sierra Club of BC voiced strong opposition to any new pipeline, regardless of its route, citing environmental concerns and questioning its economic viability, suggesting the burden might fall on Canadian taxpayers. Conversely, the BC Conservatives expressed full support for new pipelines, believing they would benefit the provincial and national economies. The Business Council of BC maintained that the route is a technical and commercial decision, urging a focus on conditions for construction rather than outright vetoes. This discussion follows a memorandum of understanding signed by the federal and Alberta governments in November regarding a potential new pipeline through BC Tow. City News Everywhere reports that rural employers across British Columbia can anticipate relief following the province's decision to permit the retention of existing temporary foreign workers for an additional year. This extension is contingent on employers not exceeding their current 10% cap on such workers. Jesse Sunner, BC's Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills, stated that this measure addresses severe staffing shortages in rural areas, but also stressed the province's desire for more control over immigration streams and improved pathways to permanent residency. Sunner described the one-year extension as merely prolonging existing issues, highlighting the importance of supporting these workers who contribute to the economy. Sault Mayor John Henderson, currently in Ottawa, emphasized the urgency of the program due to near-zero unemployment in his community and sought clarity on family visas. The Trump business enterprise behind the Truth Social platform, Trump Media Technology, has replaced its chief executive, former Congressman Devin Nunes. The move comes after a significant stock plunge of 67% following Donald Trump's re-election in November 2024, which wiped out over $6 billion in investor wealth. Digital media executive Kevin McGurn has been appointed as the interim CEO, with the company not specifying a reason for Nunes' departure or a timeline for a permanent replacement. The company, which aimed to be a free speech alternative to platforms like Facebook and Twitter, has reportedly lost more than $1.1 billion since going public 2 years ago. Nunes received $47 million in total compensation in 2024. McGurn expressed confidence in the company's future, highlighting Truth Social as representing the most powerful brand and voice in history of social media. The company has also expanded into cryptocurrency and prediction markets, areas that benefited from lighter regulation and promotion during the Trump administration. This report comes from the Canadian Press. Global News reports that homeowners in Edmonton's Duggan neighborhood are taking an unusual legal approach to combat large-scale infill development. Feeling ignored by the city's existing policies, nearly 76% of residents surveyed have opted to place restrictive covenants on their property titles. These legally binding agreements aim to control future redevelopment by limiting building height to 2 stories or 8 meters, capping the number of units, and requiring adequate on-site parking, even if properties change hands. The move comes amidst a broader debate across Alberta regarding infill housing, exemplified by Calgary City Council repealing a blanket infill rezoning policy due to similar homeowner complaints. Residents cite examples, like a proposed 7-unit building with a secondary house on a lot next to a street without rear lane access, arguing such developments don't fit the neighborhood's character. While the city councillor for another South Edmonton ward, Michael Elliott, supports the residents, he views the high participation in restrictive covenants as a clear indicator that citizens' voices are not being heard by the city. This strategy echoes historical uses, such as the Carruthers caveat in Edmonton's Glenora neighborhood, which preserves single-family homes and large lots. Edmonton Neighborhoods United indicates that about 25 other communities are exploring similar tools to manage redevelopment. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.